Deep inside a peaceful forest, there was a beautiful pond surrounded by tall trees and green grass. Many animals lived near this pond. Ducks swam on the water, frogs jumped near the shore, birds came every day to drink water. Near the pond lived a young beaver named Biko. Biko was the smallest beaver in his family. The other beavers were bigger, stronger, and faster than him. Because of this, many animals thought Biko could not do important work. But Biko had something very special. He had strong determination. Every day, the beavers worked together to keep the pond safe. They built small wooden walls with branches to control the water. This helped keep the pond full and healthy for all the animals. Life in the forest was calm and happy, but one summer, something unusual happened. The rain stopped. Days passed, then weeks passed. The hot sun slowly started drying the pond. The water level became lower and lower. Soon the animals became worried. "If the pond dries, we will lose our water," said one duck. "Where will we drink water?" asked a rabbit. The animals gathered near the pond, feeling scared. The older beavers tried to stop the water from leaving, but there was another problem. A small crack had formed in the ground near the pond. Water was slowly leaking out through that crack and flowing away into the forest soil. The crack was deep and difficult to reach. The bigger beavers tried to block it with sticks and mud, but the water kept slipping through. After many attempts, they became tired. "This problem is too difficult," one beaver said. "Maybe the pond will dry completely," another said sadly. Many animals started losing hope. But little Biko was quietly watching everything. He slowly walked toward the leaking crack and looked closely at the flowing water. He noticed something interesting. The crack was narrow deep inside. Suddenly, Biko had an idea. Without saying much, he began collecting small stones, leaves, and soft mud. Trip after trip, he carried tiny materials in his mouth. Some animals looked at him and laughed. "What can such a small beaver do?" they said. But Biko did not stop. He pushed the stones carefully into the crack. Then he pressed soft mud and wet leaves on top of them. The water still leaked a little, but Biko kept working. Slowly, patiently, he continued filling the crack. Hours passed. The animals began to notice something surprising. The water flow from the crack was becoming smaller and smaller. Soon, the leaking almost stopped. The pond water finally stayed in place. The animals cheered with happiness. "Look, the pond is not losing water anymore," the frogs croaked. The bigger beavers came and strengthened Biko's work with larger branches and more mud. Soon the crack was completely sealed. The pond was saved. All the animals gathered around Biko. "We thought you were too small to help," one beaver said, "but today you saved the pond for everyone." Biko smiled softly and said, "Sometimes the problem looks very big, but if we stop worrying and start looking for solutions, even a small effort can make a big difference." From that day on, the animals of the forest remembered an important lesson. Even the smallest animal can solve the biggest problem if they refuse to give up.